One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Anxiety Guy podcast. I'm Dennis Simsek. Thanks for joining episode number 17. If you're watching this on iTunes, please subscribe to the Anxiety Guy podcast. I'll be making these episodes every Monday for you guys. As well, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. As well, our Facebook page is where we update everything. We go through the daily inspiration on the Facebook page. We motivate you. We handle certain situations when it comes to health, anxiety, and panic attacks. So everything goes through our Facebook page. So please make sure to like that page. Today we're talking about motivation and inspiration. I had an email this morning from Kate Smith. Kate Smith saying, Dennis, I am at the crossroads of my life. I'm trying to create a change in my life. And what are some of the things I can do to stay motivated? Because it's very difficult for me to stay motivated. Thank you so much for writing me, first of all. That's fantastic. Like everybody else, everybody needs that why in their lives. The why do you want the change? And the why is basically the fuel for you to create the change. For me, taking my own personal story, I had to change careers quite quickly, and the only thing that kept me going when things got really tough, I doubted myself, I started to experience setbacks in this new career, was the why. Why was I doing this? Why was I taking part of something that was brand new? I was jumping into unknown territory. Why didn't I just stay in that familiar career that was actually unfulfilling me big time? And I had to really think about the why. Why was I doing this? And my why was so that I could reach more people out there. My why was so I could inspire and hopefully change and inspire some lives out there. So my why I was doing the change was basically built around what other people were experiencing and trying to help people. And the more I thought about my why I wanted this change, the more I was able to curb those feelings of doubt, those feelings of fear, those feelings of worry. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're going through a tough time, a rut right now, and you're looking to get back that motivation, that daily, that push that's going to keep you going during the tough times, I can tell you from experience that as a professional tennis player, years back, I ran into so many disappointments, so many tough times, guys. And there were times where I had to sleep in, rat-infested warehouses. I had to eat 19-cent tacos that I didn't even know what was in them. It was just disgusting. I had to sleep on the beach sometimes in California when we were touring for our tennis tournaments. I had to play with these shoes that had holes in them, and I couldn't afford new shoes. I couldn't afford a place to sleep. All I had was this dream, this why was I putting myself through what I was? And the reason was so that I could, call myself a professional tennis player, and I was working so hard for this goal. Eventually, I was able to get my ATP ranking and fulfill a dream. And although, I didn't come with the glitz and the glamour that you see with professional athletes, I was still able to take that and put it towards a career in coaching tennis. So, I've been through tough times, guys, and I can tell you that it doesn't last forever, and you really have to continuously remind yourself of why you're doing it, and put up those pictures and listen to those audio recordings of why you're putting yourself through what you are. The second thing, guys, when it comes to keeping yourself motivated, getting through a rut, was to surround myself with positivity. When I surrounded myself with positive people, positive environments, great energy, I found myself becoming more like those people. And when I was becoming more like those people, I started to learn from those people. I started to become those people. And I really want you to take a good look around and weed out some of the people in your lives. Oh, Dennis, but we've been friends for so long, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? If these people are not your true friends and they're not helping you get to the next level as far as your personal development, guys, I did this and it felt fantastic. I weeded out some of the people that were dragging me down. I weeded out some of the people that were holding me back from living my fulfilling life, because honestly, you are the first priority. Let's always remember that. Priority number one is you. And it's not your best friend. It's not your fiance or wife, or it's you. It's you. In order to be better, in order for those people that you love to be fulfilled and satisfied and to keep them happy, you need to work on your own self-development first. And when that happens, then everything around you changes. So priority number one is you. Make sure to surround yourself with the positivity every morning. The first 20 minutes, I don't know where I ran into this, but our subconscious minds are taking in the most important information and gets to stick in our minds in the first 20 minutes when we wake up in the morning. So that's when it's most alert. That's when it's most open to suggestions. So the first 20 minutes as soon as you wake up, are extremely important, guys. And really look at your environment when it comes to developing yourself and getting out of a rut and staying motivated. Another one is when you make a plan, anticipate those road bumps. Because we all go into, let's say, a career, let's say a business goal, and we got this business idea, and man, it just sounds so good. It's going to solve so many people's problems. It's going to help us financially. It's going to help other people. It just sounds so good, and we have the roadmap out, but we're missing one thing, and we forget that every new challenge, every new business idea, anything that's new, that's not in your comfort zone, is always going to come with challenges. It's always going to come with bumps on the road. And we need to remind ourselves of that fact. We jump into something when we see it on TV and wow, that looks fantastic. That business idea is great. Oh, that new supplement is fantastic. Whatever it may be. But let's remember that every action comes with some kind of a pullback. Okay, so if it's a supplement, let's say you're taking a supplement. A lot of times, some supplements come with side effects. When you start a new business, it comes with road bumps. It comes with challenges. Are you looking into those challenges? Are you anticipating those road bumps? Or are you just jumping into something and then giving it up within a couple days? And the reason we give up things in a few days or weeks or months and we don't stick with it in the long term, the biggest reason is that we don't anticipate some of the road bumps that it comes with. We just think that when we do something, it's going to be smooth sailing. But in fact, you need to go, you know what? I'm going to partake in this. I'm going to go for this new business idea that I'm going for. But I know that this, and this is going to come up and I need to deal with it. So anything that you start to partake in, guys, make sure that you understand what the road bumps in the future might be. As well, I really can't stress this enough. the fact that in order to stay motivated daily, in order to take those baby steps every single day, you need to keep on learning. A lot of people start a book, couple chapters in, drop the book, go to the bookstore, look for something else. Read that book for a few days, and then give up that book again, and then go back to the bookstore finding book. I know one friend who's got hundreds of books, and I've asked him before. I said, you know what? Have you read all these books? And his answer was that he read about a dozen of them. The rest he never really finished. And I was asking him, why don't you ever, follow through? And the reason is that he comes up with, when he reads a book, he runs into a chapter or some lines where he starts to become a little bit not as interested in the chapter or the book, and automatically he stops reading it. And what I really want you guys to understand from this episode is that if you're going to stay motivated, if you're going to stay inspired daily, if you want to change people's lives, if you want to change your own life, you have to keep on learning. There's a doctor named Dr. Claire Weeks who wrote a fantastic book called Hope and Help for Your Nerves. And I read that book from cover to cover maybe 15 times. By the time I read it, the 15th time, that book was in pieces. And everything that I read throughout that book, this next time and the next time, I started to gain new knowledge from it. There's so many things that we miss when we're reading a book, for instance, or watching a YouTube video that may be inspiring. And it's almost like we need to do these things a couple times in order for the real information to stick in. So I can't really stress enough, guys, that you need to really set some time, whether that time is before work, whether it's at lunch, whether it's in the evening, just to keep on learning. If you want to overcome health anxiety, you need to understand where health anxiety comes from. If you want to start a new business, then you need to understand what that entails before you jump in head first. And like anything, guys, keep on learning. Audiobooks, YouTube videos, motivational speakers. I know a couple. Les Brown is fantastic, and he's coming to Vancouver, and I'm really excited to see him. Anthony Robbins, again, a great motivational speaker, and I can't, speak enough about Anthony Robbins. Fantastic. Who else? I forgot his name now, but an extremely awesome story. Oh, I forgot his name. Maybe you guys can help me out and write me a message if you remember his name. He has no arms, no legs. He does a lot of speaking to kids. He talks to kids. And at first, when these kids see this guy with no legs and no arms, they're kind of fearful. They're scared. They've never seen anything like this. And him with his tiny body up there on the stage, he really starts to touch people mentally. And it's extremely inspiring to me that someone like that, if someone like that can come through and inspire kids and motivate people to bring out the best in themselves, to meet their peak state, then, everybody can do that. And what I really want you to understand is that don't limit yourself when it comes to what you think you can achieve. A lot of people say, you know what, but I can't do that. And the real, when it comes down to it, the walls that we put up are really preventing us from taking the next step. It's filling us with fear. And what I really want you to understand is that once those walls come down, once you start to become, once you start to surround yourself with positivity, once you start to change your environment, once you start to fuel that change with why you're doing it, once you start to anticipate the road bumps when it comes to that change you're trying to go through, and put yourself as priority number one and keep learning, what starts to happen is that a snowball effect takes place. And you not only are making a difference in your own life, you're giving other people an opportunity to change their lives as well. I've noticed this in people that I coach in tennis. I've noticed this in people that I'm helping through the Anxiety Guy podcast and our website there, that when I unconsciously speak to them, just kind of speak to them, or if I'm around these people, automatically my state, my energy starts to transfer over to these people. And what happens is that transfer of energy starts to become addicting. And what happens is people start to become attracted to you, which I really notice. And that invisible force is what really motivates me to continue with the Anxiety Guy and help people with these videos and the podcast and so on. So in closing, guys, in order to stay motivated, go over this video, this audio a couple times and understand the facts. And I'm going to tell you again, just so we're really clear on how we can stay motivated day after day. Figure out your why. The why is the fuel for change. Surround yourself with positivity. Positive people are going to make a difference in your life, and you're going to attract more positive people into your life, and that's going to create a snowball effect. When you make a plan, anticipate road bumps. Make yourself priority number one. When you start becoming better, everybody around you and your loved ones become better. And the final one, keep on learning. Don't stop learning. What have you done today to better yourself? And I'm not talking about, I went on Pinterest and I read a couple of quotes. Quotes are temporary. Quotes are almost useless if you don't put those quotes into action throughout the day. So if you're the quote person and you read these inspirational quotes, they may be good for a very short time, guys, but making sure that if I'm reading these quotes and I'm following these people on whatever Instagram or whatever it may be, make sure that you're putting those quotes into action in some way in your own life. I'll see you guys in episode number 18. If you have any questions, visit me on anxietyexit.com as well. We have a fantastic program on there that's really making a big difference in people's lives as far as health anxiety goes. And make sure to visit us and like our Facebook page. If you have any questions, send them through there as well. I'll see you guys really soon. Take care.